Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of On the Paint Table. It's my weekly show where you see what I got done, what I'm working on, and what is coming up. So this week, I painted a lot of, but not even like scratch surface of my most recent Reaper Bones Kickstarter for 5 leagues on the Borderlands, or from the Borderlands. And I also worked on some new releases and some of my like not quite finished stuff for Infinity. I also got to take a look and we'll go through and cruise through all the new World Leader stuff from Games Workshop for Warhammer 40,000 that they kindly sent along as some complimentary review copies. And then started work on another set of bad guys to face down my heroes in Borderlands, and cracked open the next ITS roundup of scenery that we're doing for Spring Offensive, which is the next tournament coming up in the Tactical Awareness tournament series, which will be in April. So I need to start another table because my life now is making Infinity tables. So let's see what got done and what is coming up.
So first things first, here's all the Reaper Bones minis I painted up. This is Ranulph's Repossession Rangers, my heroic crew led by Ranulph, a retired noble who's, heading back for one last adventure into the Borderlands, into the Nine Finger Mountains. And I've got my Ranger there, the Quiet Forester. I have a bunch of like sort of little heroes. We have sort of like a Templary guy, an city town guardsman, the boy carrying all of Ranulph's stuff, and then my mad alchemist who used to do pyro at the Bard Festival, throwing bombs. These are from the latest Reaper Bones Kickstarter that delivered, I think, last summer, maybe the summer before. And I've been looking for a reason to paint them, and the 5 Leagues from the Borderlands like campaign set basically has you generate out some heroes and a bunch of bad guys, and these were just perfect. So I'm really happy. It's nice to not paint army stuff sometimes and just paint a bunch of unique individual models. It was super relaxing. The bone stuff, of course, is big and chunky and fun to paint. And because it's plastic, it's this is the Texas bones, I think. It's like a darker gray plastic. It's actually not very bendy. It took primer fantastically, cleaned up fine, and I think they look great. Then I painted up some kobolds, because if you're going to have low-level sort of like D&D style campaigns, you need kobolds. And a troll, because I wanted to have a wandering monster. I love this troll mini. Again, it's bones. You can see it's that harder plastic 2020 made in China. And this is done up just like a brown base coat. I blended up a bunch of different beiges. And this is all Army Painter paint. I decided to break out my Army Painter Mega Paint set, which I hadn't used in a long time, and see how I could do. So I love this miniature just because he's wearing like a kettle as a hat. And he's got a bunch of like, I don't know, pieces of fence and a turtle shell for a shield. Just a great model. I stippled on a bunch of browns to make everything all rusty. And yeah, great fun to paint. The tufts are all from Army Painter as well. And then my kobolds, I'll show you the boss here. This is the boss kobold. I made a sergeant and a lieutenant, so these guys are in a slightly like more dressed up scheme. They all started actually Bow Red primer from Games Workshop. And then I washed them with the Army Painter Strong Tone after I did all the metallic and like brown base coats and stuff like that, just to tie it all together, and then just give some highlights. Really easy and quick to do. I just use them on their small bases and then texture painted up to them. So what's nice is I put them on the bigger Reaper Bones bases. They have their like built-in bases. I just attach them and then use the texture paint on top of it. Real happy with these. I've got a variety of like weapon options, 2 kind of character models, and I still have a bunch to paint because I have like the wizard. There's like a Brood Mother, a bunch more like sort of random kind of character style pieces, and then I have a fantastic collection of kobolds. Some more new releases painted from Infinity from Corvus Belli. Finished up my other Moran Masai, so I now have 2. I'm a terrible person. Jordan hates it. I have my first Wildcat combi done. This is the newer style Wildcat. It means I can take the Wildcat Engineer and hang out in a duo with my my Gator. And then McMurderer! He's ready to rock and roll. This is my second McMurderer because I've got the kitty cat face McMurrow already painted up in my Caledonian army. So now I have a modern McMurrow with 100% less chipping now because he's Siocast. I had a great time painting him. He was fun. Did a little tartan on his pants there. And just gave him a quick and dirty paint job because I wanted to get him on the table. But I love this miniature because he's got like his sort of shoulder skulls already like cast on, and he just looks like he's a werewolf going to war. I painted my 2 last metallic, I think it's a Lamed and a Samek remotes for my OSSS/Aleph army with some Vallejo green tufts. This is all still done with that Corax white spray, the new Soul Blight gray contrast paint, and then just some highlights. And on the purple contrast paint too. I can't remember which one. Whatever the current purple one is, not the not the purple sun, the other one, the one after it. And then everything just highlighted up through their various tones by usually mixing like white or beige in as well. Bases are all done with my current basing method for these two factions, which is Aster Granite Debris with some thinned down burnt red from Vallejo on it, and then dry brushed up with some Ulthuan Gray, I think it is. Whatever the new blue gray, whatever Space Wolf Gray is called now from Games Workshop around the edges. And so it leaves that kind of like halo in between their feet. These guys are the same idea. I used green for the heroes, and I used a darker brown for the kobolds. The next bad guy crew for my Reaper stuff, I got all the undead stuff I like together. So like a skeleton posse, a zombie posse with like a kind of like necromancer looking guy, some undead hounds, and then some like hero looking dudes, like a big skeletal knight and a big kind of like Reaper. Another troll, this time unarmored. I could also use him as an ogre if I want to, maybe as well. And this will be like the next wave of bad guys for the 3 threats that are in 5 leagues. So I've got my kobolds, which is the gnawing horde, all painted up. This will be the Whispers from Beyond, which is the undead guys. So I have to work on my Morad expansion pack I gotta get painted. And then the rest of my nomads I want to get done too. So 2 more crazy quals to go with my Morans, because they both have, I painted 2 of the 4 basically already. A new, I think it's supposed to be a Fearbach, but it kind of also looks like an AP Spitfire. Evader, the Wildcat heavy rocket launcher, and an old Wildcat, so I can do like a Wildcat team. My Clockmaker with the little devil horns, and the other Zonbot I want to get done too. And that kind of rounds out where I'm at right now until the next Fireteam pack comes out for the Nomads. This guy is actually a Sedition Wars mini that will make a great digger, because I want to try out the diggers. And this guy looks like he's like wearing industrial equipment. He's an old Kev White sculpt that just fits. And I didn't back the tag raid box, so I wanted a cool proxy, and he's in plastic, so I'm going to give him a try by painting him up as well. Then I have the mercenary teams I want to get painted now. Miranda, who will also be my dismounted bounty hunter. And the old Moran Messiah I'm going to use as my Secdet, I think. Because then I can have like a specific Secdet model for the rest of the season. I don't have one with a gun out, but that'll help me remember. And then this is my current unpainted pile for Aleph. I started working, put the base colors down for 2 of my proxies, which is the Hacker and the Engineer proxies, and then I've got my AP Spitfire one I need to paint up as well. Also be the Mark 12. She's probably going to be whatever gunfighty proxy I need to use. I want to paint up my Achilles. My Naga Sniper might also be a proxy at some point because she just kind of makes sense as a proxy. I probably won't use her as a Naga Sniper. She'll probably just join the proxy brigade as the sniper proxy. I'm going to paint up her as my Rem Driver, because she has this like little video game she's clearly playing in her hand. She's actually an HVT model, but I think she'll make a great Rem Driver as well. And that way I could use the Rem Driver in different factions, but I could also have an Apsaris using one of my other Aleph models. And then my Achilles, of course, is gonna get done at some point. I also need to get the new ITS objective pieces done for the, I need to get 2 beacons painted because they're in Capture and Protect, which is from the Spring Offensive set. We're also doing, whatchamacallit, we're doing Capture and Protect. I need to get some panoplies painted for one of them. So panoplies and these need to come in this box and get painted. So I've got like the visual representations for when people are practicing these in our missions going forward. Well, I got the new Hlock Station scene. I want to get this built before the 2 new ones show up from, because these were from Crimson Stone. There's the 2 new ones coming out in March from Black Wind. And I want to do a new table of this stuff. Maybe desert themed, I'm thinking, with some desert rocks to like zhuzh it up a little bit. And then I want to try and get my hands on the newer Tinker Turf containers to like finish it off. Because like 2 expansion sets, a base set, some like big rocks, and some containers should give me enough for the table. For another table basically for Spring Offensive. On the go, I haven't had a chance to actually putting these together yet, but I couldn't help myself. I busted these open to look at them because I wanted to see what the parts looked like. For the Jackals, for the new World Leader stuff, the Khorne Berserkers, and the 8-bound, for 2 reasons. One, because Rob and I are planning at some Horus Heresy, and I wanted to see some trader bits. These chain axes and chain swords are going to be perfect for making like butchers and stuff if I wanted to do like a World Leaders army, or even just like Chaosium Assault Marines. They don't have, like, they have a few symbols on them, but not too many. So I could easily use these for like Horus Heresy because they're not too screwed up actually. They just kind of look damaged and a little bit chaosy. I'm actually really excited about these Jackals for this reason, because you could do a lot of cool like heretic stuff with them. You also get some cool grafted limbs and like some more orky looking weapons, but this one frame in particular has a lot of cool chain swords that I could use to make like assault marine types. So I'm actually really pumped about that because I think they'll look great on the Mark 6 bodies. Even maybe using some of the bare arms would look really cool too. Then these are the 8-bound. Man, they're so cool. I wanted to see all their attachments and like chainsaw blades and stuff too because I wanted to see the parts, but they are enormous. They'd make good possessed, obviously, if you want to use them as like corn versions of like Galpabracht or something like that. Their weapons are a bit big, but you could maybe put them on Terminators even, I was thinking. They're pretty set to this period though compared to like the Corn Berserkers. But the Corn Berserkers, man, they will also work great for Horus Heresy. You can just chop this little section out and put these back on the backpacks, and there's going to be very little like conversion required because they're very, very, very close to just what it would look like to have like Red Butchers and stuff like that for Corn. You get lots of cool shoulder pads too, some like off shoulder pads for their swinging arms, and then tons of arm options, even just to make like assault marines and stuff with. The weapons are pretty chaosy compared to like what you'd look like in a Heresy army, but some of them aren't. Like that one's actually pretty like generic, and I think if you're making Red Butchers especially, this could be a plastic box of Red Butchers for Horus Heresy with little to no problem. And you get great embossed shoulder pads with the World Leader symbol, which I think is fantastic. You get 1, 2, 3 without the corn symbol at all. 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like at least 7. Maybe all of them. 8, 9. Is there one more? Give me 10. 10. 10 with the World Leader symbol on them, which is fantastic. So if you're looking to like convert up some World Eaters for Horus Heresy and stuff, this is a great box set. Open Angron. I'm going to make a boarding patrol of these guys to start off with, and I didn't open this guy because they don't really fit the boarding patrol theme, but all this is going to turn into a boarding patrol, and I might use the extra pieces on these guys to make a Master Possession or convert a Master Possession. Not Master Possession, Master of the Executioner, Lord Executioner or whatever, so I can have like a foot character to go into boarding actions. Last but not least, the transfers are cool. They're pretty 40k-y because they're all gold. You could use them to trace over. They're not white though, which is what you would probably have in Horus Heresy. They would still be white symbols. So a good base. You could definitely use them still, but they're very like set to contemporary 40k by being gold instead of white. Red ones, unfortunately, aren't. They're all like just bloody like handprints and mouths and stuff like that. So they're not as functionally probably useful. But I think you still definitely make use of all of them. The ones without the Chaos Stars like are definitely like useful for like a Horus Heresy thing.
So you go, 25 models painted this week, lots of Reaper stuff, bunch of Infinity stuff, and lots of stuff on the go. I'm actually really pumped to do a new boarding patrol. I think this is gonna be the year of boarding patrols. I'm just gonna do boarding action stuff until maybe a new edition of 40k comes out, if and when that happens. And then keep chipping away at this stuff for Infinity. I'm gonna keep on keeping on. It's Nomads, Aleph, and Morats still for the season of ITFs. I played vanilla Yu Ching all through doing the Ring for Winter War, and then I went and started unpacking Yu Ching boxes, and I was like, no, wait for season 15. Just wait. You start a new army every year for this, and you need to hold off. You need to pump the brakes. Otherwise, I'm just gonna start a new one immediately. So there it is. Lots of stuff on the go. Lots of stuff coming up. Till next time, MASH. Upgrading. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that video. There are tons of other games already recorded for you to watch. Click over to my channel page if you haven't already, and have a look through the dozens of playlists full of videos. I guarantee you'll discover a game you haven't seen played before. I put out new videos 7 days a week, and every day is themed to a different genre as I continue to explore the wider world of gaming. Of course, none of that's possible without you, the viewer, so click a like and subscribe if you'd like to stay on top of what's happening here daily. My 2 kids and I are massively grateful to be able to have the flexibility of this job so I can always maximize my time with them. If you want to support me continuing to put out this content, it's only possible because of my amazing backers on Patreon who support the studio, equipment, and model cost, as well as being how I make the bulk of my living. You can also help out by buying a t-shirt through Spreadshirt, a measuring gauge or widget from Death Ray Designs, or buying one of my games and supplements like Last Days, Gamma Wolves, and Blaster. As a way of showing my appreciation, patrons get early access to new games and supplements that I write throughout the course of the year. Huge thanks for watching, it really does help out, and happy gaming.